Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Eagles Latest on Fan Arch. I'm your host, Blake McQueary. We are back for more Eagles content. A short week this week. Now it is time to think about. Honestly, yesterday it was time to start thinking about the Eagles' upcoming opponent, the New York Giants. As of course they play on Thursday night. But yeah, now it's fully time to put away the Denver game. Think about the upcoming opponent, the short week, things like that. Because we are now one day away from game day. That's how quick the turnaround is. You're playing on Thursday night. So yeah, it's time to focus on the New York Giants. Real quick though, before I get into what I want to talk about today fully, I think probably the biggest news surrounding the Eagles today, really yesterday, was the meeting that happened between A.J. Brown, Jalen Hurts, and Saquon Barkley. I briefly, quickly mentioned it on last episode that they had a meeting. More information came out today as the media was able to talk to players. Obviously, the media asked each one of those players about it. I don't think A.J. Brown actually spoke to the media today. I think it was just Saquon and Jalen Hurts. But just real quick, what I want to cover on that is just it's not enough to talk about a full segment, honestly, because my opinion on it is they had a meeting and that's that. Like, stop asking them about it. They're not going to tell you exactly what they went into full depth about in that meeting. Jalen Hurts briefly just said that it was about coming together as teammates, trying to figure this thing out, blah, blah, blah. And what else is it going to be about? They're not going to tell you. So my only concern with it is why wasn't Devontae Smith included in that meeting? But yeah, that's all I have to say on that. But getting right into it, first thing up is cut slack. We need to cut this Eagles team some slack. They are 4-1. They're 4-1 with the hardest schedule in the league. So far, they've had to play another 4-1 team, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who look very, very good. Baker is a front runner right now for MVP. The Kansas City Chiefs beat them. The Los Angeles Rams, another tough NFC opponent, beat them. The Dallas Cowboys, obviously haven't been a top dominant team in the NFL recent years, but still a pretty good team. And the Denver Broncos, who have the best defense in the league this year so far. Their schedule has been very tough, and now they get a quick break here with the Giants twice, the Minnesota Vikings, and then a bye week. Just cut them some slack. Do they have issues? Do they have problems? Do they have concerns? Yes. Are some of the concerns major? Yes. But it doesn't defeat the fact that they are 4-1 with the hardest schedule in the league, and they have played some of the toughest teams in the league so far this year. I just feel like the energy surrounding this team is that they're 2-4 or 3-2. Like, they're 4-1. They're having a better start this year than they did last year, and they won the Super Bowl last year. I just think some slack needs to be cut. It's hard to win in the NFL, especially when you have the hardest schedule, the number one hardest schedule in football. According to ESPN's Football Power Index, the Eagles have faced the toughest schedule in the NFL through 5 weeks yet, and have only lost once. For context, no other team in the top 7 hardest schedules has more than 2 wins. Those teams, Philly, 4-1. Number 2 is Baltimore. They're 1-4. Number 3 is Cleveland. They're 1-4. Number 4 is Tennessee. They're 1-4. Number 5 is the Packers. They're 2-1-1. The Raiders, they're at 6, 1-4. The Giants, who they gear up to play on Thursday, they're in 7th, 1-4. There are 2 teams in the top 7 with winning records above 500. It's the Eagles and it's the Packers. Baltimore's second. They're 1-4. Baltimore is 1-4, man. Like, you think it's a tough time in Philadelphia, Lincoln Financial? How about you go down to Baltimore? Like, that is not good stuff down there. Of the 6 4-1 teams in the NFL right now, only one ranks inside the top 15 in schedule strength, and that's 15th. Two have faced bottom 3 opponents. Best record in the league, hardest schedule. You know, like, we can debate all the time of how it looks. Am I going to talk about how it looks? Yes. I mean, we're talking Eagles content here, and that's what I'm here delivering that for you guys. Am I going to point out the concerns? Am I going to point out my opinions on those things? Yes, of course. Am I going to point out how it looks, how it can be better? Yes, of course. But I'm always 100% going to give the truth. And the truth is, the Eagles are 4-1 with the hardest schedule in the league. So cut them some slack. Seriously. I could see if the schedule was one of the worst and they're squeaking by opponents, that would be an issue. But one of the best records in football right now through 5 games. Coming off a Super Bowl win where in the season before, or that season started 2-2. So I think some slack just needs to be cut. I think the energy, the morale, it needs to be boosted. It really does. It really does. Moving on. Zone kryptonite. The Eagles are struggling against zone coverages. They really are. Struggling heavily. And I think defenses are going to run zone until the Eagles prove that they can be effective against those coverages, because they have not been effective so far. The Eagles have an EPA/play of minus 0.13 against zone coverage this season, and an EPA/play of 0.34 against man-to-man coverage. If you don't know how those numbers work, I'm not going to seriously break this down to you because it's a little confusing, but just know that negative numbers are very bad and positive numbers are pretty damn good. And last week, as far as Denver goes, they were among the league leaders in man-to-man coverage. In the first half against the Eagles, they played zone coverage on 58.1% of the defensive plays. Obviously, first half was when the Eagles had most of their passing success. In the second half, they shifted to a more zone-heavy approach. That was 75%, and played man coverage on a season-low 12.5% of the snaps. So obviously, they adjusted there. They realized that a more zone-heavy coverage is going to make them struggle, and they did struggle indeed in that second half. The offense was not nearly as effective. I covered it last episode. It was 6 drives, 5 punts. And the only scoring drive was literally right out of the gate of halftime. The Broncos played a season-high snaps in cover 3. Hurts' EPA/dropback against man coverage is 0.49, and against zone coverage, it is negative 0.15. And as far as the Eagles' wide receivers go, they thrive in man coverage. Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown thrive in man coverage. Absolutely thrive. And obviously, they're going to see it less than they'd like to until they can show that they can be successful against zone coverages. The Eagles, they are very good at single high man coverage and against the blitz. Very good. They're terrible in 2 high zone coverages. Very terrible. I think one solution, though, to this, there's another solution I'm going to get to in a second that kind of leads into my third topic. One solution, though, to this, I think, the Eagles really have to go empty. They do. Listen to me. When the Eagles are in empty formation, it is such an advantage that they have over any defense they're playing. And it is because the guys that they have on offense, the weapons that they have. One of the best running backs, if not the best running back in football, in Saquon Barkley. One of the best, if not the best quarterback in football, Jalen Hurts, who can kill you with his arm or his legs. They have one of the best wide receiver duos in the league in A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. They have a great third option in Jahan Dotson. Like, when they're empty and it's just Jalen Hurts back there, it's dangerous what that offense can do. And a lot of the credit goes to Jalen Hurts, who is stellar in decision making. Stellar in deciding if he needs to throw that football or take off with his legs. Another thing that they can do to resolve this, run the football effectively. Saquon Barkley, he has an EPA/rush of negative 0.09 against zone defenses this year. That was 0.17 last year. So a huge drop. Huge drop. And I know it's easier said than be done, but run the football effectively. You got to. You got to be able to run the football effectively. You do. Moving, and that leads me into my third segment here is Saquon Barkley. Barkley time. Could this be a season breakout game for Saquon Barkley? He's getting ready to face his old team on Thursday, the New York Giants, of course. That is the organization that refused to trade him, rejected trade offers. That is an organization that refused to pay him. That is an organization that let him walk, essentially. Could Saquon be unleashed on Thursday night? It's possible. But again, you got to run the football effectively. You got to be able to. Last year in the Giants game, he didn't go crazy, but he had a great game. 17 carries, 176 rushing yards, 1 touchdown. It was a 28-3 game, though. Just to note that. He didn't need to go nuclear against the Giants last year. But a stat that I really liked. Across 63 career games with 15-plus carries, his 10.4 yards per carry mark against New York was the highest he's ever recorded last year in his career. So, I mean, heading into this game, Saquon, he should and he will be wanting to absolutely embarrass the Giants. Now, I know there are questions about his health. He's listed as questionable right now. He was a limited participant at practice on Tuesday, and he expects to go. He fully expects to go. He fully expects to play. It's just a little bit of knee soreness that he's dealing with, but he should be ready to go. I have no doubt in my mind that he's going to be playing on Thursday night against the Giants. Now, for him to be unleashed, for him to go nuclear, for him to have a great game against the Giants, like everyone wants to see, the O-line, they need to be locked in on Thursday. So locked in. Stop playing like the Giants O-line did when they had Saquon. That was a major driving factor in him leaving New York. So stop being like them. Lock in, basically. This year, he's averaging 3.2 yards per carry this season. He's averaging 2.7 yards after contact per carry. He's running for an average of 0.5 yards before contact per carry. I mean, it's bad. It really is. It's bad. But hey, I mean, like, what a perfect way to end the struggles against your former team. That's textbook type stuff, fairy tale ending type shit. You know? But the O-line needs to be better. They need to improve. They need to be better for Saquon to be able to do that. Moving on to this Giants team. We're going to preview kind of this New York Giants team a little bit. We are going to see kind of their strengths a little bit. I'm not going to go through their strengths and weaknesses. I'm going to do that on tomorrow's episode. But just quickly, what they have. Jackson Dart, I'm going to start with the rookie quarterback who took over for Russell Wilson. He's looked not bad in his first two games. Obviously, the first one was against the Los Angeles Chargers, which they won. The second one was against New Orleans Saints last Sunday, which they lost. But Dart's been good. Dart's been pretty good, and he's a rookie just through two games. His passes, they've been coming out quick. He's able to make off script plays with his arm, but more importantly through his scrambling. A pretty good runner. It's why he looked very good, very comfortable running RPOs and draw plays. That has been his bread and butter through two games so far. And like I said, that Chargers game, his NFL debut, beat a very tough Chargers defense. That's led by Jesse Minter in his rookie NFL debut. So, Jackson Dart's got it. I think Jackson Dart is going to be a very good quarterback in this league. And you got to be able to contain him. You do. Cam Scatterbo, another rookie for them, running back. Absolute psychopath. He is an absolute psychopath. He's a ground and pound type running back, essentially a power back. And he's seventh in receiving yards by a running back this year so far with 143. That kind of surprised me a little bit, but Cam Scatterbo, he's kind of taken, I wouldn't say the league by storm, but he's making some noise. He is, not only on the field but off the field as well. Just how crazy he is. Like I said, he's a psychopath. Becoming one of those fan favorite type of guys. One of those guys where you hate to be playing him, but you would love to have him on your team. That's the type of guy Cam Scatterbo is. Theo Johnson, the tight end. Through two games with Jackson Dart, he's caught 2 touchdown passes. Seems to be a favorite amongst darts. Just a quick shout out to Leo Johnson. On the defensive side of things, their rush defense is very good. They have Kayvon Thibodeau, they have Brian Burns, they have Abdul Carter. 3 studs. Like their rush defense makes me excited to see what they can be as a team if their offense gets rolling. Obviously it's going to take a year or two with where things are, but that rush defense with those 3 guys, and then also you got Dexter Lawrence in the middle. Their rush defense is good. They're very good. As a team, though, not very good. But it is an in-division game. Those games can always be tough, no matter what the record is, no matter where the talent is, the difference, whatever the case may be. Like, it's an in-division game. Not saying the Giants are going to win this game, but you never know. Still have to prepare. Still have to play them like any other opponent. And yeah, that's all I got. As always, stay up to date with Eagles latest on Fan Arch. Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time.